Anyway, welcome back. This is our wrap-up session, okay, of our journey into using journaling as a technique.
Correct.
Now let's just recap real quick. Let me tell you something. This stops people from achieving their goals. This stops people from improving their lives. This stops you from being who you truly are. The thoughts in your mind will enslave you. It will control you unless you control it and free yourself. If you have been in a habit of reacting to your feelings in a very impulsive, very negative way, and the results have always been negative, if you keep doing what you've been doing, your results are going to continue to be the same. You now have an option. Before you were getting options, and life is about consistently and constantly getting options to grow and do things different. All I did Monday when I came in, I said, let's look at it differently. That's all. You have already got the tools, you already know what it is, you guys have gone through enough groups, you understand enough. But all I did was I came in and said, look, I've been where you're at. There's no difference. Okay? I've been the guy out there on the street. I've been the guy addicted to drugs. I've been the guy that self-sabotaged himself over and over and over again. And I did it so many times, and I tried to do it different in so many ways that I finally got to the point where nothing worked. And it came to me that if I kept doing what I've been doing, I'm going to keep getting what I've been getting. So I said, let me try something different. Let me ask you a question. If you are here and you want to get here, what do you have to do? You have to climb. You have to exert yourself. You have to do something different. If you are here and you want to get up here, that's the goal, to get a better quality of life, right? To be more successful, right? To be able to manifest in your life that freedom that you've always wanted, right? But in order to get from here, which is where you're at now, to up here, what is it that you're going to have to do sometimes? Go through the lulls. Before you can get to the next highest mountain and the next highest mountain, you have to go down through the valley and come back up. Let me tell you about myself. I was feeling overwhelmed yesterday morning because I thought I had so much to do, and I literally did. I sat down at my desk yesterday morning at 10:30. I didn't get up from my desk last night until after midnight. I had 2 cups of coffee. Then I went back, I think I ate a couple of oranges. Then I had some leftover Chinese food in the refrigerator. I pulled that out in the evening and I ate that, and I went back and I had to do all this work. But in the beginning of the day, I felt so overwhelmed. Guess what? That may not have been the correct label for that feeling. I may have just been feeling full with all the good stuff going on. But I'm so used to labeling it as overwhelmed, which in the past has always made me stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? I misidentify a feeling, and because of the old associations I've had with that feeling, I literally could have stopped my success yesterday because I labeled it as feeling overwhelmed. And when I'm overwhelmed, what do I have to do? Escape. So I thought about it. And it's because I've come here that it's become clearer to me, and it comes quicker to me. It's because I practice it, because I have the consistency and the discipline, that I realize that what I was feeling was, what? What's that word? Was normal. It just felt weird. And I may have been misidentifying the feeling. And once I realized that might have been going on, guess what? It took the pressure off me. Because the mind is going to always need evidence. Because it's always going to try to go back to what's familiar. You understand? So you always have to stay on top of it. It's work. Guess what? Welcome to life. Right?
Every day.
You're going to work doing the right thing and help yourself, or you're going to work doing the wrong thing and sabotage yourself. But you are going to work. It was work trying to get the next one. It was work being homeless. It was work having to sleep on the floor. It was work trying to find a place to wash up. We got a guy now who was homeless who has a terrific voice. Okay? And guess what? He has opportunities. But what's happening? Is he not sabotaging himself? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It happens to everybody. So self-sabotage happens in every aspect of life. It doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter who you are. What I'm here to do is share with you ways to reduce the damage. That's all I'm doing, guys. Listen, I want to tell you something. I really appreciate it because you guys have been consistent. You've been coming back to each workshop, and I see the light. I see the light.
We look forward to it. Coming in. We're gonna go.
Yeah, we're trying to plan everything.
No, we're not gonna miss nothing.
I really enjoy coming.
You know?
Yeah.
It's helpful. It's very helpful.
If you wasn't good at this, I probably would be bored and left. But it's because you're good and
Because you break it down and make us understand what you're talking about and help us understand rather what you're talking about, not just go through it and we be stuck like, okay, so what do you mean? And keep asking you questions. The questions that we do ask you is about what you're talking about because you break it down for us to let us know. So we ask new questions to find out, okay, if this that's right, if this how it's going to be doing, what we need to do next, you know? And take it further on down, you know?
I have a question for you. It's more on a personal side. But did you go to journalism classes or school before you wrote your book, or you just went ahead and you just did it over your years of
Let
time?
me tell you what happened. I had all these writings, like what you're beginning to do now.
Right.
And it showed me how I got from one point to the next and what I felt like when I hit the lull and how I got out of the lull and achieved the next thing and how I went to the next lull and got out of it. I kept track of my emotions and I kept track of the thoughts that made me want to react. And after about 90 days, I realized, I realized that if I shared this information with people, that they might be able to identify with what I'm doing, what I feel. And it might be able to help them recover from recover from whatever it is that's causing pain in your life. It doesn't have to be drugs. This can apply to drugs, this can apply to weight, this can apply to cigarette smoking. Whatever your discomfort is, the techniques are the same. You identify what's going on, you ask yourself why, and then you go a little deeper and say, why do I have to respond the same old way? That's how I stopped smoking cigarettes 3 years ago.